The Professor here. Today we look in on the genius clockmeister as he solves yet another horological conundrum.
Why, thank you, Professor. What have we got for today? Okay, so last time on the video, in the previous episode on the Fusee clock, we tried to see what was wrong with the clock and why it wasn't working, and we hung it up and let it run, and it stopped, and we had the hands off, and it would run for about a minute or so, maybe even 2 minutes, and then it would stop. So and it would come to an abrupt stop, and even though it was fully wound. So we don't know the answer to that problem yet. So we're going to continue researching that problem today. And the background might be a little bit of background noise while I'm filming, because my wife is doing the laundry right behind where I'll be, right behind my workbench. So it might be a little background noise in this video for a while. So let's go into the workbench area and see what we got to do next. And I have an idea that I think I'm going to try first, and that is I think we should remove this MotionWorks and see if it still runs, see if it will continue to run without the MotionWorks on there. Now, I have let the clock run down, so all of the cable went from the Fusee cone out here to the wrap around the barrel. So it's fully unwound now, so I need to wind it a few winds in order to make, because I thought I was just going to take it apart, and it has to be here when I take it apart. So I'm going to give it a wind or two, but first I'm going to remove the MotionWorks here. So we just need a screwdriver for that. And we'll go right here and take this off. Now when you remove the MotionWorks, nothing will unwind. It's not dangerous to remove this. I think I'm going to put the MotionWorks stuff together here. That's the bridge. It's very important to inspect everything, but it's very important to know which way that washer on the bottom goes when you take this off. I'm just going to take a closer look at this to see if there are any teeth issues. And this looks really good. Doesn't have any issues. It's the hour pipe. And the washer goes downward like that. It's supposed to sit on an edge, and then that gives it a little bit of spring. Alright, so we'll give her a wind or two. Okay, and then we will go put the pendulum, which is there. I cleaned it up a little. Okay, I forgot to put my microphone on, so hopefully you can hear me. Alright. Let's get this Okay. Alright, so that's probably a beat there. How long will it run? Will it stop? I'm guessing it'll stop. And again, I apologize for the background noise that you're probably hearing. The only thing you should be hearing is the tick of this clock. Okay, well, it's gone for a while, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to go off camera, wait a while, and see what happens. Okay, so, as you can see, it died. It died twice. It ran for 10 minutes on the last measurement. I timed it. It ran for about 10 minutes and then it died. So what that tells me is that the clock, the movement will run, but it's just probably gummed up with dried oil. There may be some things that are a tiny bit bent. It ran better without the motion works, which means that the center arbor could be bent a little, so I'll test that. But the next thing we should do is take the clock apart and clean it. Put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. This is safe to go in the ultrasonic cleaner because there is no covering or plastic covering protection on the brass. It's just brass. So we'll put it in the ultrasonic cleaner and get it cleaned up. And it'll look nice when it comes out. So let's take it apart, see how we do that. Get our camera back over here. Stand up by yourself there, Mr. Camera. I got a lazy camera. It's got a lazy leg here. Stay put. Stay put, little guy. All right. That's good enough. All right, let's bring this back over. And then put that there where it's safe. All right, so we're going to remove. So now we do have at least 2 winds on the Fusee cone that have to wind down. Now at this rate it would take a long time to do this. So the best thing to do is take the front bridge off, and then we can do a faster controlled drop down of the power. So we're just going to remove the bridge. There's the bridge. those are the pallets. They need to be polished. And now I can just let this power down with my finger, just by controlling it with my finger. Don't want it to go too fast. And this is a time when it's spinning. I can see if there's any unevenness, any warping. But I don't see it. Although that's the great wheel, the one wheel, the two wheel. The two wheel feels bent. The two wheel has a bit of a warp. This is the one I have my finger on. There's a bit of a warp in that. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Probably not. Let's see. You see a bit of a warp? It's a small warp, but it's a warp. I'm going to let this down. It's almost down now. And when the clock stops, that means there's no more wind left on the fusee. This is where I worry at the last part, that the cable could come flying out of. So I'll hold it away from me. Alright. Alright, so there's absolutely no power left on this clock. You would think. So you would take it apart, and you would be wrong, because stored in here, because of this stop here, you notice there's no click. The click on a fusee clock is built inside the fusee cone, and that's what stops it from unwinding. It's built inside the cone, though. This click is for the pre-tension power that's on the fusee. There's always got to be tension, otherwise the cable would just unravel and fall off. It has to be kept tight, the chain or the cable or the gut. So there's going to be at least 1.5 winds of power on this mainspring still that we have to release. And this is safe to release it now by putting my letdown key on here. And you have to have a fairly large letdown key, because this is a very large arbor. And then we let down this power, and then it's not dangerous to take the plates apart. So always with fusees, you got to deal with that. And I've worked on single, double, and triple fusees, where you have to unwind all three and get the cable back on or the chain back on all three. And it can be difficult once this thing comes apart to put it back together. So, yeah, well, we're going to go in there and do it. So, now one of the things that I'm noticing about the top, the cover on this barrel, is that it's crooked. Don't know if you can see that. See the crooked? The barrel's flush up here with the edge of the barrel, and then here it's down. So I don't like that. I don't know why that is. But we do know that the opening matches up with where the cable ties. So we'll put it back on the same way we took it off. And we need a letdown key that's big enough. I have a special one here. This is huge. This is a 16 and a 14, so I'm using the 16 to let this down. And what I gotta do is move it ahead and let it down. See the power that's on here still? Oh, and I didn't count how many spins I had on that. Darn it. How many spins were there? I don't know. So I'm going to have to put, I think it's about 2.5 turns should do it. 2.5 turns, yeah. All right, so now the cable's coming off. You can see this is what would happen if you didn't have pre-tension on this. Okay, so we can now safely take the clock apart. There's pins on the top, 4 pins that have to come out. Let's do that. I'm going to take this off first. And we'll remove the plate. Oh, what have I got there? Oh, that should come up okay. Okay. This mechanism here is the stop. It stops you from overwinding the cable. It'll stop at the winding once the cable gets to the top of the fusee. Okay, that looks like a mess right now, and it will be difficult to put back together, I have to admit. It is difficult. Now let's look at these wheels. Oh, there's magic. Yeah, that's not bad, but boy, it's worn or not. That's what I put in. That's not bad. Pretty long. Some are. That's good. And this one's going to go back. Here's another tree. That's right. Yep. Can try it around here. Not getting that here. These do not come off. You can see some of the writing on the movement. There's a serial. There's a 7AAP 477. So somebody did something in 77, and then there's the guy Bridge that did it in 53. Did the clock. There's a really bad pivot here. Pivot repair. Not liking that one at all. So maybe we can redo that one. Where's the upper plate? Dusty. Okay, this goes on like this. So where's the corresponding? Okay, this side does not have a pivot. Let's do something. Let's put it back together. There we go. Workers. All this. Let's see. All right. No movement on that side. Well, that's good. Oh, yeah. Don't know if you can see it, but there's a wiggling. There's quite a bit of wiggle in this one and this one. Those two pivots, they're going sideways. So the pivot that was badly replaced is moving, and so is this one here. So I need to do this pivot and this pivot. Those two have to be replaced. On the other side, they're fine. They don't have to be replaced. So I'm going to be rebushing those two pivots. But we clean the clock first. We have to clean it. It moves pretty good on its own. If I give it a little one, so I could get by, but I do see wear. So, and I don't like the wear. Especially on that bad pivot that somebody did a horrible job with. This one, yeah, you could get away with the center arbor. I think you could get away with it. But do you want to? So I think those two have to be replaced. The two on the back. Let me get a little picture of that so I remember which two they were. I thank you for following me. If you're subscribed, I appreciate that. I don't make any money on YouTube, though. I don't have enough followers. But I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. All right, pictures. Just one. We want to know which two we want to do, just in case I get all mixed up later. I'll take this top off again. I gotcha. All right. So I'm going to snap my fingers and this will all be cleaned. Ready? It looks really shiny. Now what happened was I meant to wait for you guys to look and watch me put it back together, but I was doing a test fitting and the test fitting went so well that I decided just to keep it together, because making sure you get this tight on here is very difficult. It's a challenge to get this wire wound properly on here. So it just happened to work so quick and easy that I said, I don't want to fight with it. So I did put a bushing in right here. That one there I rebushed. And I couldn't do that one because I didn't have a bushing the right size that would cover that hole, because I would have had to knock the old bushing out, and then it was so wide and the pivot was so small that I just didn't have a bushing to match that. So if I reamed out the existing bushing, I could have made it fit, but if that existing bushing fell out, I would not have a bushing to fit, and that would have caused me greater trouble than it was to fix. So by fixing this one bushing, I've improved it by half of what it was off. So, and it was running for 6 to 10 minutes without the bushing. So I got a bushing in, I've got a cleaner clock, and it'll be properly oiled. If it does stop, I didn't find anything wobbling or bent. Come to think of it, I didn't test it in my lathe. Darn, I should have done that. Anyway, okay, so we're just going to proceed to putting this thing back together and putting it on the wall and testing it. So right now I have pre-tension on here in the amount of 1.5 winds and of pressure. So it's a lot, but it's not a lot. Not too much, I mean. So we should see, I think everything looks straight. Yeah, nothing looks too bent. So let's put this back together. Let's get the, before we put the motion works back on, we'll put the Oh yeah, and I polished all of the pivots, the ends of these pivots right there. So I polished every one of those on all of the wheels. And on this one here, I sanded and polished the pallet faces. So the pallet faces are really polished now, and they're nice and shiny. There's still a tiny bit of groove that I couldn't get out, but it's a lot better, and it should slide a whole lot better than it did before. Okay, so I also cannot get this to move up and down to change the position where it wears, and I didn't want to mess with it. Again, sometimes it's better to leave things alone than to mess them up. Okay. We'll put this back together. I think we'll test it in reverse. We will test it with the MotionWorks off, see how long it runs, and then we'll put the dial on and the hands and everything. Okay, so here is this is where things could break or blow apart as soon as you start to put the pressure on. So this is the dangerous part. I'm always a little worried. Okay, the click is working real nice. And it's rolling onto the Fusee cone the way I like. So that's good. So far it's good. I just want to make sure it does keep rolling on. Probably, just for now, I'm going to rewind it only halfway. Okay, I think that's enough. We may not have this right. Okay, it is running good. We're going to put this equipment back on so we can hang it. Let's see what we can do here. Where's the pendulum? I put the pendulum on with one hand. Oh, I lost it. to put the phone. I don't know where to put the camera. So let's see if we can get this on here. There, okay. Let's put you down here for 1 second, camera. Okay. We got an even tick-tock beat. So let's put the timer on, see how long that goes. Yep, sounds okay.